Good afternoon, golf fans. Welcome back to the LPGA Tour of Korea. You are very welcome to Elysian Jeju as we get set for the opening round of 4 here at the S-Oil Championship 2022. It is already event number 29 of 32 in this LPGA Tour of Korea season as we look through some of the groups, including a very exciting one that teed off at 11 a.m. Pang Min-ji, Lee So-mi, and Park Ji-young. Some winners in that group, to say the least, including last week's winner and last year's winner of this event. Just a beautiful day, this crisp autumn November afternoon here on the island of Jeju as we begin our coverage on the 16th hole. And unfortunately, we begin with a missed par putt from a relatively close proximity for Che Uno, putting together a pretty impressive string of holes. She is 4 under par and 2 back of the leader with just a few holes to play. Next we'll go to 12. Cho Ayan putting from off the green downhill to start this putt. Will climb back and needs to be on line. A formidable try. Won't be able to budge from her current position in a tie for 10th with 6 other competitors. We have 96 in the field this week, all in search of the 144 million won cash award out of this 800 million won purse. Jay Ream on 14. 121 meters this approach shot. She's looking for the middle left of the green here. She finds it brilliantly, navigating a bit of a blustery wind. It is one of the more notable aspects of the forecast today. It is clear skies, 18 degrees, but that wind is steady at 4.2 meters per second. The remarkable rise, the remarkable season of EA1 continues. 129 meters on this approach shot. She's done just about everything this season, but find that elusive first victory. Up to 3rd in the money list, 4th in the points, and is, of course, the top rookie on tour by quite some margin. Think of consistency. I don't think many players have embodied that this second half of the season quite like Kim Soo-ji. Another podium finish last week, tied for 3rd, a 12 under par tournament score. She leads all players in the points this season, 102 clear of her closest challenger, Yuhei Ran. Her approach also excellent, might have even just grazed the back of that cup. Came in with a lot of force, but she definitely went out to attack that pin. Now Eugenie, her 5 under score is currently tied for 2nd, just 1 back of Park Dan-yu. Slightly shallow, slightly short of her preferable distance remaining as we get a look at Eugenia. Her final hole of the day, she is also at 5 under. Bogey-free round. Certainly an impressive start to the event for someone just outside of the top 100 in the money list this season. Probably could have used a full extra club on that. She will roll all the way back onto the fringe. There's Iso Young playing her second at 11, a 349-meter par 4. That is brilliantly played. Just a couple of meters shy of holding out for an eagle even, and she will take that big boost to the round with plenty of golf still to be played. Onto the tee at 10, Imi Jung. 1 under at the turn. An uneventful drive as it caroms to the right and eats up more and more yardage. It's a good tee shot. Jay Ream to join the fray at T2. Little right to left uphill putt. She overhit it up on the walk before it was even level with the cup. She knows that's a bit of an opportunity gone by the wayside. Suji to get back to even. Wasn't the start to her tournament that she would have hoped, but plenty of time to make her way back towards the top 10. This would go a long way on to that path. So even for the time being is all the way down in a tie for 58th, but you have to start somewhere. Go to Imjini. She's had her fair share of fast starts this season already. An eagle on the round and a few birdies. Definitely a tricky initial putt on the hole here, but she was never really in contention there. It's back-to-back pars now. Her birdies 1, 2, 5, and 7. The eagle at the par 5 6th, and a bogey at the 9th to go out with a 31. And EA1 pushes this one. Tie for 12th in the last event. 7 under was 11 back when all was said and done.
Nice birdie.
Nice birdie indeed for Iso Young. Just her second of the day, her first since the opening hole of the round. Back under par. And Gina trying to run this up. A little punch up the hill and in to a window of about 3 feet. And EA1 goes from pushing the first putt to pulling her second. Hits the inside of the hole and shoots right back out. When she just needs to see drop so she can get on out and off this green. Second bogey of the day, 4 and 10. Her birdies at 1 and 8. Dropping back down to even. And Eugenia to finish with a round of 67. Slightest of taps with the downhill. 3 birdies on the back 9, back-to-back 16 and 17. She's one of a few of those who had started on the 10th tee that put together a brilliant opening round. She'll be absolutely elated with the 67. The par 3 12th, that's only 140 meters. 8 iron is the club for ENG. She is well short of target this time, into the fairway before the green. We're on 14, OG Hyun, just a fraction offline, and it costs her a birdie. Tap in for a par to stay at 4 under with 4 holes to play. The approach for Choi-Yan was carrying a ton of speed onto the green. The backspin helps a bit. Kind of canceled out, however, with how much that wind was at her back. .6 meters downhill, 123 to go. That is just about perfect for Im Hee-jung. Well, 366 meters. This is the longest par 4 of the back 9. It's the fringe and scoots on over back towards the middle center of the green, but still a fair bit short. Go to Yuhei Ran next. Similar to where Kim Soo-ji had been at the turn, over par, pitching wedge on her approach. Sitting close as well. It's about 4 meters shy of a birdie to bring her back to even. She had 3 bogeys on the front 9, including back-to-back at 8 and 9. Deft touch, great bit of short game play for ENG. Just the simplest of tap-ins from that location. 140 meters, by the way, the distance on this par 3, the shortest hole on course. So we take a look at 10. 358 meters, an uphill par 4, not so eventful, unless you try and cheat a little bit to the right side of the fairway off the tee. It is wavy, both in terms of how the fairway is cut and the up and down slopes in that fairway, and from there, after the tee shot, not much to complicate the approaches. With the pin today in round 1, in line with the widest part at the front of the bunker. 5 yards from the fringe in that location, only 14 yards off the front of the green. Minji, she's 2 under the turn. Starts with a nice drive. first 9 holes of her opening round, bogey free. Birdies at 6 and 9. Back when she won this event last year, she posted 2 rounds of 68 on Friday and Sunday. Only a 3-round competition in 2021. So me last week when the dust had finally settled, it was a 5-shot win for her, first of the year. That will pick up all kinds of speed. Got power up in the fairway rolling. A good margin down that hill. It's autumn when the puffer jackets come out. Try and protect from some of the wind ripping across the fairways. It's Choi-Yun just missing another birdie. She had a brilliant approach shot, Yuhei ran to set this opportunity up to get back to even. Has just enough to keep it on line. Third birdie of the day, and that's exactly how she would have wanted to have started this back nine. We go back to 15. Che Ream for birdie. Move into a tie for second. Has a long way to go back towards the left. She had it right on line, just needed a little bit more power behind it. She'll tap in for her 5th consecutive par. Jung starting this putt above the hole. Will come down a little right to left with it. And right into the bottom of the cup. Her first birdie since the 5th. One playing the iron out of the fairway at the 11th. Herself just beyond pin high in a pretty good spot. And that's the lay of the land, peering from behind. The green here at number 10. Bung Min-ju be the first to go. Buck 28. A curl of that club as she watches it carry all the way onto the dance floor. A little bit deep, a little bit left. Suji trying to put a birdie run together here. Finally back to even. Keeps the door open for herself. About 6 at most away, slightly off to the right. decent approach nevertheless. Pak Jones turned 125 on 10. Off the fringe and right up on line. Tucks that up about 3 feet short of the eagle. Very much in play for a birdie. Now 15. We've seen a few players play the dangerous game with this cart path. 7-iron for Oh Ji Hyun, and struggles with the overhanging branches. Can't reach the green from that position. Also wouldn't say the cleanest of contact. Might have topped it a little bit. Meanwhile, Isomi inside of 100 meters, just simple wedge up. Similar end result, albeit about twice as far back from her group mate on the green. As we go to 11, back with Yoon Hee Jung. Another simple swing of that driver finds the fairway. Consistency in her driver is becoming apparent once again. It's a good sign for her. As we go to 9, Pak Den-yu, one last opportunity to pad to this advantage. Would have taken her to a 65 for the day. It's a bit short, it's a bit left. It will be a tap in for the 66. Bogey-free round, including 4 straight, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Come in with a 34 to hold a one-shot advantage at the moment. This is how that leaderboard looks, 66 and 67 for group mates Pak Dan-yu and Eugenia respectively. Kim Yoo-ji also playing on her final hole of the day in that tie for second with Im Ji-ni. Chae-Eun-oh, Na-hee-yeon, Chae-Reem, and Oh Ji Hyun leading the pack of those tied at 4 under. Well, here's how things are looking into the final few rounds of the season. We begin with the points list, where Kim Soo-ji has a 102-point advantage over Yoo-Hae Ren. Pang Min-ji third, EA1 fourth. Shi Han-sol rounding out the top five. In the money list, the lead is slightly dwindling for Pang Min-ji. Say down to 214 million won, the advantage over. Second position, EA1 third, which is absolutely remarkable for the rookie. Yoo-Hae Ren and Chung Yoon-ji, that rounds out the top five in the money list. And for the rookies, EA1, 589 points clear of Ko Chi-yu. Ma Ta-som third with 2,033. Kwon So-yeon and Kim Min-ju fourth and fifth, respectively. Speaking of Pang Min-ji, this is her attempt at a birdie. Plenty to do with this putt. Plenty to do, and just a little bit still remaining. Took a couple of weeks off after winning the final major championship of the season. Back to try and collect a couple more in this home stretch. Still a bit of difficulties with the putter for the leading rookie. It's a fairly large task with that putt that she needs two putts to connect on. Oh, Ji-hyun at 15. Still hasn't been able to escape this rough. Go one final time, kissing that off the fringe. Maybe a bit too shallow on entry. Just pushed that. Think about last week, the big win for her first of the year. She had been a two-time winner in 2021, the Taewonie MBN Ladies Open, as well as the Lotte Rent-A-Card Ladies Open. Up to 4 titles in her career now. But with a lot of break. Grabs a bit of the edge, but not enough to drop for Kim Soo-ji. She'll stay at even. $106 out for Imjini. Fairly high degree of loft, didn't need quite that much club, but there wasn't much more of an option when you're pulling the 48. Maybe drop down in the 50s, especially with the wind at her back. Bak Ji-young starts this well right of the hole and never gave it a shot to come back. $501 is this par 5 14th. Cho Ayan goes right at the flag and is rewarded for the bravery. Now suddenly a par save opportunity for Lee So-mi, and she won't. The ball hangs over the inside of the cup and needs a second tap. Back-to-back bogeys from 2 under to even in just a 2-hole window. Rejoin Oji on this, trying to save par at 15. Another case of being well right of the hole. So the difficulties here will cost her a stroke. Speaking of difficulties, a putt from above the crest down into the crater for Jay Ream, excuse me. It's birdie if she can get it there. Slides right as it heads down the hill, starts to align itself once again. Couldn't put all the ingredients together though to come away with the birdie. As we go to 11, Im Hee Jung, 8 iron, 133 meters to go, right side of the fairway. Oh, she goes over top of the cup. That was as online as you could ask for. Bounces and skips, and only fractionally even avoids hitting the flag to slow it up, if not see it fall. Jihyun is through at long last at 15, her first bogey of the day to drop her back to 3 under. The shortest and simplest of tap-ins at 16. Jay Ream, 2 holes to play and 2 back. She won't have any new company. Joyeon just misses that to the right also. In that area, 3 to 4 meters, you would expect those birdies to drop left and right. Currently tied for second is Kim Hee-ji, 92 meters on her approach at the last. Through the fringe, like a country mile, still 210 on the next putt coming up. And she gets the group underway with a uneventful tee shot, a good one. Mixture of the body language and the outstretched arm to the right, a precursor to the sound of the ball rustling and banging into branches, into the trees, well off the fairway. I think it's entirely fair to say she's had a bit of a cold stretch, Park Ji-young, in terms of the season and her results. such difficulties for Isomi. A line drive. Low loft and perhaps intentionally trying to avoid some of that wind. Moved over to 13 with ENG. It's an outside look at birdie, but a look at birdie nevertheless. Now for Park Ji-young. Call that a provisional, but I don't think she has any hope of finding that initial tee shot offering. ENG only just on the green. Makes the long trek back rather. Still with about 3 feet to go. And this putt separating ENG and a birdie. Even with a little bit more power, might have been offline. Good try, but no ground gained. Another round complete and another 67. 2 birdies on the back nine, 3 on the front. Kim Hee-ji finishes the day, at least for now, and a tie for second. It's 5 strokes clear of VA1, another less than straightforward putt, but this time she makes the putter work to her advantage. Back beneath par, that's a good place to be for the rookie. Not in the same hole, but in their identical situation, Yoo-Hae Ran also gets her bird. Back to back now after going back to back bogeys to finish the front nine. Yeah, just 2 holes to go. Tied for 6th. Should be marginal movement. It's mostly about the power to get up the hill, and she does just that. 6 birdies now on the day with just 1 hole to play. Over to the par 3 12th with Yoo-Hae Ran. She has played these par 3s better than anyone else on tour this year. Sounded decent contact, but with the wind at her face, isn't able to get any more than a few inches onto the green as that ball finally comes to rest. Jiyoung, already her fourth after the penalty. Pin placement very close to the front, and as if she had that ball on a string. She's going down, but she should be only going down one stroke after a fairly good save. Next up will be Cho-Yeon's approach on the par 4, but that is well short and into either the thick rough or straight into the bunker, and I have a feeling it might just be the latter. Jung has also decided that 8-iron is the club to attack this 12th hole with. A little bit of extra backspin would have been just what the doctor ordered, but she'll finish on the green.
있어. 공중에 있어.
We can chalk that approach for Isumi down to a relatively uneventful one. Now put Minji 3.4 to get to that log jam at 3 under, but it's not started where it needs to be. Starting this from not even on the fringe, short on 16. It's a pretty good pace. Not that bad of a line either. Only for about 3 meters. Chalk this down to a bogey save for Park Ji-young. It's just only the one drop shot. Bogey's now at 4 and 11. Her birdies today 5 and 6. Naeem Genie on the par 5, still 100 to go. She gets the pin high and then a brilliant bit of backspin. Nearly impossible to miss a birdie from that specific distance. It's very well struck, very well played. She settles for a par 11. It was tied for 25th, where she finished last week in her return to the tour. That's a par on 16 for OG Count, just a couple of holes still to play. I had a feeling she might indeed be in the sand. We find Cho-Yeon dug in at 15. A big blast met with some backspin to keep it close. She is up. Now the question will be, can she get back down? putting downhill and mostly into the wind as she tries to pick up another on the par 3. She's done this so many times this season, only off by a fraction to the right, keeping her from doing it again. And 22 meters for EA1 and 92% greens in regulation clip. Able to add another to that stat, but that might even be double digits in terms of the meters remaining. Jung curls that outside and away from a birdie. Tapping par at number 12. And an opportunity now to take in the sights of the 12th. It's unbelievably short. Par 340 meters. Again, if you missed it earlier. Narrow fairway with a large pond looming to the right and a big bit of sand also defending the green to its outside. Pinned today at the very bottom of this narrow green, 9 yards off the front and 9 yards from the left fringe.
오빠랑도 확실히 있어. 핸드폰 촬영하지 말아주세요.
First to go, ENG with look of apprehension. Opening up the door to Pak Chi-young. Even not where she'd want to be at this point in the round. Also going with an 8. Asking for it to sit. And roll into the shadow of the tree off the back of the green. Closer than ENG, but not necessarily a gimme either. J-Ream, oh. Just the right amount of power, just not quite the path it needed to take to birdie. We go to Cho Hyun. Slides that in uneventfully at 15, 3 under the score. Tied for 9th position. Trying to get to 2 under par. Looks real good. It's more than that. That's a great putt. After starting her back nine with a bogey. This is now back-to-back birdies for the rookie. The mascot of the event suspended in the water. At the moment, 2 players tied, including Chung Yun-ju, who has 5 holes to go on the front 9, level at 6 under par. Well, that's quite the way to come back from a commercial break, isn't it? What a birdie for Peng Min-ji from a long way away on the par 3. That is a brilliant, brilliant shot. Take a little bit more of that in the next 90 minutes or so. Let's go to 18. Kim Woo-jung. Snaps that back expertly. Her final hole of the day. She is tied for 10th at the moment. If she can convert on that birdie, however, she would move up to T7. And now Imjini trying to keep the pressure on towards the top of the leaderboard. So short putt. She's able to convert on that one as well. So return to the birdie column for the first time since the 7th. Whistles off to a round of applause as we rejoin Park Ji-young. Undoubtedly a quiet first 11 holes. And unfortunately, after her birdie at the last, or bogey at the last, excuse me, she can't find a birdie here to offset it. Settle for par. And Kim Soo-ji is next. She too a chance to get to 1 under. However, she converts on it. 2 birdies now on this back 9, 10 and 13. It's a long way to go to catch Chung Yun-ju at the top of the standings. However, have to start somewhere. He on 18. She would also have been able to get to a share of runner-up, but it's not quite online. There was admittedly plenty to do. She was only just onto the green. Now Im Hee-jung. We've reached the top of the clock, 3 p.m. local time on the island of Jeju. Thank you so much for joining us. A hop, a skip, and a jump, and nearly pin high as it finishes.
안 올라가지? 우리 왼쪽에 있는 거잖아. 색깔 어떠한데 그럼? 올라.
Well, the first time we see Son Ye-bin today, and unfortunately we're not seeing her off with the birdie to get back to even. It'll be a 73 in this first round. That is all the way down in a tie for 75th. She'll need to have a big day tomorrow. Try and get back into a position inside the cut line. See if Peng Min-ji is able to put a little run together. Tied for 11th as she begins this next hole, and she sends her drive to the middle right of the fairway. Yan just crushed that, way too much pace. this putt starting from off the green. And you could see just how steep it was just to climb up back onto the green. Unable to go back to back. It's a positive way to finish back-to-back birdies, Kimu Jung. 33 on the way in, 35 on the way out, 4 under to finish the day. Now catching up on the par 4, 15 dogleg left into the grass bunker. 115 meters to go. It is short as it doesn't quite roll all the way up. Ends with a bit of a whimper, 4 straight pars, 36 even on the way in. Jung, 13 holes in the books. She is 3 under. Bogey should be disappointed with that attempt to putt for par. Really, really heavily hit putt. He is down in 60th season-long money list, 134, nearly 135 million. One collected so far this season. Sonia being just on the outside looking in, as is Kimu Jung, Pak Bogyam, etc. See, it's quite the disparity, even from 60 to 70. wicket, pin high, and using the wind as an ally. Almost a slam dunk for Choi, and she finally has her birdie, her first since number 7, takes her to 4 under par. Not a ton of movement, but some to be mindful of. Chung Yun-ju back to the top spot. She has 5 holes to play on her back 9. Bak Den-yu, Im Jini tied for second at 6 under. Kim Hee-ji, Eugenia 5 under with 67s. Kim Woo-jung, Che Yuno, and Nahian, leading the charge of those tied at 4 under with a 68. Bung Min-ji and birdies out of the commercial break is starting to become a habit. She is very much on the climb. She might be up with Im Jini before we know it. She is currently at 6 under. That would have taken her into a share of the lead. Would have been a highlight reel conversion from off the green. Look at that long swoop right to left. EA1 nearly the highlight reel of her own.
Okay.
Short of the best case scenario for Im Jini, but still a nice outcome there. Park Ji-young able to save her par, though she is well and truly off the pace here. 13 holes down, still at even. Kim Soo-ji, this uphill putt needs a good whack. Didn't quite get there, so she finishes the hole where she started it. The updated LF Hansi's point standings. I'm getting close to the end of the season, which means we're getting close to the beginning of this tournament. How things stand at the moment and the allotted scores based on where they finish. 3 under for the leader. At the moment, that remains Yuhei Ren. Second and third would get offered a 2-stroke advantage to start the event. Fourth, fifth, and sixth, 1 under. Seventh and eighth, the end of the automatic qualifiers would start at even. And then the 2 additional invited players would also start at even par. That current top 8 as it currently stands entering the week. Didn't see a ton of movement, 1 through 7. In fact, no movement whatsoever. Yuhei Ran from Kim Soo-ji, Park Ji-young, EA1, Peng Min-ji, Chi Han-sol, Im Hee-jung. Lee So-mi moved up 1 spot into that last automatic qualifying place. Swapping spots with Chung Yoon-ji and Bak Young-kyung. A late push in the season as she discovers some form. Some fantastic finishes these last few weeks. It's good up for Im Hee-jung. Well over 1,300 points back of Jihan Seoul. That difference in the LFAs is 0.6 through 7th. It started really well. 9 and 10 consecutive birdies. Jae Reem, though, from there, 11 through 18, all pars. She exits the course at the end of her opening round with a 68. That's a brilliant pop back. Nice and close. Yoo-hae Ran. Even when she's a little bit less flashy, less loud in the first round, she's certainly not someone you can forget about for too long. Final par 3 of the day for Im Genie, going with 7. It's always drifting right, and in the end it is all the way off the green. Par 5, 501 meters. It's a tee shot that's pretty much perfectly down the middle. 236 meters is the drive, 261 meters to go for Bang Min-ji. She tried to go for a little bit more and perhaps get a bit cheeky, cutting it from right to left and pushing into what would have been a near perfect scenario if she had been there. That follow-up shot is short and in and around the bunker.
Shot.
Around the back of the hole and popping out and staying out. This requires an interesting path to avoid the ball paths of her group mates. It is a par.
밟고 들어올게.
이거는 찝어.
basically erupted, but they were ready to really celebrate had that fallen. Came close from one of the shots of the day, to say the least.
내리막 살짝 있는 거죠? 천천히 하는 것도
Roji Hyanin ends up with 3 straight pars and an even back 9. 69 tied for 12th position. Here's Sungyeon at 17 looking for a birdie, and she's going to have her birdie. After each of the first 11 holes being a par, she has 3 in a row at this point. Approach shot for Isomi. Going right at it, navigating the wind, navigating the path perfectly. Should have a birdie. .73 meters from the rough for Bung Min-ji. And another one within a 5-foot radius. Could not ask for a better stretch. This is major winner-esque Bung Min-ji play right now. It's now 2 bogeys on the back nine, 3 on the day for Cho Ayon. Without them, she would be just 1 back of the lead. It's been the swings up and down, the figurative swings, that is. Shots are coming fast and furious. This is EA1. She gets a fortuitous kick back to the left. Will be about a 4-foot putt for birdie. is the strut off the green of a very happy young lady. And things are starting to space out a bit. Imjini, she has 2 holes to go. She is 2 shots back. Chung Yeonju extends that lead to 2, and she still has 4 holes to play. We will certainly be keeping a very close eye on her on this home stretch. Well, with Halasan in the background here in Jeju, starting to see things heat up a little bit in the final hour of the opening round. There is one notable exception to that category, unfortunately, and it is Park Ji-young, who cannot seem to get away from that even par score. This is tiptoeing its way all the way towards target and will drop for a birdie. Quite the finish to the round for Yu Ju. Starting with that birdie at 9, picked up a boatload on the back 9, putting herself into a great spot heading into tomorrow. ENG now 4 under. She's had some incredible par saves. She's had some very solid approach shots to set up some birdies. And if not for the torrid pace that we are seeing atop the leaderboard from Chungyeon-ju, ENG might be on pace to finish the day in the lead. She's certainly with enough time to finish the day well up that leaderboard. On 17, 225 meters are down. Just a simple approach up for ENG. She's going to go with 7 iron. Well, she's on. Certainly not quite inside of a comfortable birdie range. So go to 15 with the EA1 looking for a birdie. Putter continues to let her down. Nice birdie indeed for Isomi. Her first since the 6th hole, finally back to even. Suji 15 holes down, 3 to play, still just 1 under.
올라가. 오, 좋아, 좋아. 성공한 화이팅. 화이팅.
It's about pin high with 10 meters remaining for Sunggaeun. Chungyeon-ji, quiet day from her. Final hole, 1 under. Still crawling back a little bit for Cho Ayon. About 6 meters away from a birdie for her, nearing the end of her round. Rise up, but towards the back of the green. Jung. It's 125 meters as she tries to climb up onto the green. She does just that, tucks it in very, very close. I'm told that they are on is where our featured group is headed next. From the tee block straight down into the valley between the two bunkers. That is the landing zone. And then a sharp turn to the left from there. 175 meters from the tee. The top of the first bunker, 235 is the bunker on the right. And then from the turn, a very narrow fairway, though the expectation would be to reach into only 7 birdies here all day long. And the pin in this opening round on number 15, 17 yards off the front of the green and 7 yards from its left side. Bit of an uncomfortable lie just off the cart path. Chung Yun-ji trying to work it back out, rolling through the fairway and stopping on the fringe. On 16 reaches, not her best, but if the putter was working, you'd have a bit more confidence from that spot. It just fades away at the last moment. One hole to play. 6 under is the score. She splits the difference, Kim Soo-ji, between her group mate and the hole. Nice approach shot. Rolls it up, but still short, Chung Yoon-ji. That is a crushing miss, that one. To come so close and still have to salvage or settle for a par to stay at 3 under. Didn't want to break it all to the right. Joyeon ends the day with a par. A scintillating start to the round of 32. Couldn't replicate that performance on the back nine. She goes 1 over. Bogey, birdie, bogey. The last 3 holes for Chung Yoon-ji. Three under for Sung Ga-eun. Mostly uneventful day. 3 birdies picked up. He ran 15 holes through, 2 under the score. Yuan looking up in a bit of disbelief. Have a feeling she'll be spending a fair bit of time on the putting greens to try and dial that putter in before tomorrow's round. Crash course into just how difficult that section of the green is. Kim Soo-ji also struggling with it. It's par on 16. It's on over to the left, up onto the fringe, Isomi. Take a look at number 16, 168 meters, significantly downhill in the very artistic cart path that will take you all the way down to the green. That landing zone of fairway just before for those who might be shorts. Seen plenty of people today who go long to that back valley. You have to putt down the significant slope. 12 yards off the front, 8 yards from the right is the pin placement today in round number 1.
135 정도만 떨어지면 되나?
그럼 무조건.
Only the 170 meter par 3 is longer. She's also able to get down Emi Jung, but a fair distance that she needs to make up from there still. Minji, this was a tall task for birdie. Seems, however, as though she's going birdie par, and that's just fine. Uneventful that particular time down. Pak Jiang, another opportunity to pick up her birdie, and another opportunity gone by the wayside. She had that run at 5 and 6 back to back. Really just hasn't been able to turn anything into a birdie on the back nine. It's 171 meters on the second shot. Jeannie, this is her approach now on 18. Birdie would give her outright second, wouldn't quite see her catch the leader, but that's the last thing she needed, too much backspin. He's settling for par 15, still even. Jong awfully close, but just shy. Approach curls back a little bit, stays on top of the fringe. It'll be a downhill putt for birdie for Pak Young. Far from a poor day at the office, but quiet by her standards. Too much pace on that approach for Kim Soo-ji, as that also rolls slightly away from the green. The last 4 approach shots we've seen, including that effort from EA1, no one's super close. That's a bit more like it. Bang Min-ji with a good effort on the par 3. Shortchanged it from Genie, getting down to the final moments of her round. And Pak Jiang going with 8 iron. Will this be the hole? She turns it around a little bit. Surely now with that effort, that's a brilliant tee shot. And from off the green, wedging it between the stick and the hole. It is a birdie to finish the day. 1 under for Pak Young Young. There was that tricky spell, 3 straight bogeys. Coming off of another runner-up finish last week. She is in that camp of those who need to go low tomorrow to really have any say in the weekend.
여기서만 오른쪽이 여기서 터질 것 같은데?
응?
수량만 오른쪽.
저 이거 찾을 것 같지? 저기서 갔을 것 같은데. 응?
Ingenia bogey at the last, only her second of the day. It's a perfectly even 36 to finish the round, and it keeps her a little bit further back from the top. She would have been on to be level with Pak Dan-yu with that 66, but now she finds herself tied with Kim Hee-ji and Eugenia. Jung Yeon-ju, with 2 holes to play, continues to be the leader at 8 under. Welcome back. Here is Bungmin Ji looking for yet another birdie, and has yet another birdie. The trend continues. Birdie par, birdie par, birdie. 5 under and 3 back. Very much in the home stretch. Well, maybe I will take some of the blame on this one for saying surely that had to be the birdie, but unfortunately it just remains one of those days where she hasn't been able to put anything together consistently. This is inching down the hill closer and closer, but comes up short. EA1, it will be par. She heads to the last at 2 under. Also a par for Kim Soo-ji. A little bit of relief perhaps on her face after that. Approach effort from Imi Jung. It's a decent one. Now EA1. She's played these par 5s brilliantly. Ran unsure. She watches this one in. It's going to head to the back right and stay put.
오케이.
It's a drive to the right side of the fairway. He goes with her. Now 17, Yuhei Ren. It's a lengthy birdie. If she can get it there, starting to move back left. Certainly would have had a good shout with a bit more speed. It's going to just roll into the thick rough to the right side of the fairway. That second shot with the wood. And Imi Jung, this is a 7-meter effort. Speed was there to the very end, but perhaps a bit too much. Chien Sol finishes with a birdie. Four in total on the day, just the one bogey at 11. It is 3 under, a 69 in the opening round. So Yuhei Ren, it is a par on the penultimate. And a par as well for Imi Jung. Effort down onto the green carries all kinds of pace, skips twice, up onto the hill is where it will sit. Be a tricky down. She'll need a whole lot of the fringe as she pitches it.
눈뽕 났어요, 순간.
She try and replicate what she had done at the last. And this time, can she convert on it? It's another that's less than 5 feet away. It's just up to her to steal the nerves a little bit. Should absolutely believe she's in with a fighting chance. That hits the brakes from Izumi. It's not a bad effort either, but it's going to roll all the way towards the back if it even stays on. And back on 18, she's on the back plateau of the green. That's where she needs to be. Be about whether or not she can convert.
Yeah.
That's a decent start. See how she can pick up from there. Into the final couple of holes here in the opening round of the SOL Championship. Chung Yeon-ju has a 2-stroke lead. What will it be when the day officially comes to a close? Won't have to wait very long to find out. We'll step aside briefly and be back to finish some more rounds here on Jeju.
잠시만 멈춰주세요.
We are back with Bungmin Ji. Her effort from on top of the green at 17 was always going to carry a lot of pace down from that hill. She left the birdies a little bit too late today to really challenge for the top spot, but inside of the top 5 by day's end. If she can finish it off, she'll be plenty satisfied with that. Back to 18, the rookie EA1 trying to finish the day on a high. Pushed over to the right side. The long right to left putt. It breaks at the end, but a split second too late. It's a fantastic effort from Misumi from a long way away. Settle for a par with one last chance to pick up some points. Rolling ever closer, carrying a bunch of velocity with it, missing to the inside. Brilliant clouds over top of the course as we watch Im Hee-jung's second shot. Going with the fairway wood and takes a good chunk of the remaining yardage out of this hole. And now trying to save a par, just enough movement at the end. She will head to the final hole of the day. 3 back, occupying a share of 3rd. Chance to tie at the end. Kim Soo-ji now at 18 needs this to save her par. She's not going to be able to hang on. So drops down to even outside of the top 50. 4 bogeys on the day, including that difficult run at 7, 8, and 9. Could this be the moment? She's been waiting a couple of hours for another one of these birdies. She finally has it, her first since the 6th hole. It brings her under par, essentially swapping spots with Kim Soo-ji. One trying to stay inside of the top 25 with this relatively uneventful par putt. Flat straight all the way in and a 70 in the opening round. Her birdies 12, 13, 8, and 1 on the day. A couple of bogeys in the mix there as well. This is your aerial tour of 18, a 492-meter par 5. For the most part, should be uneventful off the tee as there's that fairly wide landing zone. It does narrow with the first of, I believe, 5 bunkers on this 18th hole off to its right. 190 meters from the tee should absolutely not be in anybody's wheelhouse there, but it does become a bit more hourglass shaped by the bunker. From there should be a fairway wood to clear that second bit of sand, and then just a short wedge up towards the green. And pin today in round one, as we've seen a couple of times now, all the way at the back. 25 yards off the front. Do not want to be short, otherwise you are going to drop down significantly towards the fringe.
핸드폰 소리 안 나게 좀 부탁드리겠습니다.
Despite all the time she spent not finding birdies, she is in an opportunity to finish inside of the top 25 if she can birdie the last here. She will need to start front-footed tomorrow, undoubtedly. The champion of 2021. She also won this event in 2016 as well. One of only a few multi-time winners at this event. She also follows suit with a good drive. Not quite as long, but safe. That is key. And further down on this hole, Yuhei Ran, she is in the rough, playing her third. 104 meters as she tries to reach and get back. She was able to find the back. More to the right than the left. Let's see what she can do with the putter next. Jung, it is a 94-meter approach. Needs to climb up 3 meters just to the front of the green, maybe 5 to get all the way to the back. That struck well, and if not for the backspin, she would have been nearly at a certain birdie.
플레이하겠습니다.
Second shot's in the books. It is winding down now. And now the long way up. It's a good recovery putt. meters. Good crack. Being slightly off to the right will cost her a chance to go up. Ends with a bit of a lull. 4 straight pars, 33 on the way in. She finishes the day with a 70. And mind you, significantly better than where she was after just 9 holes. Jung unable to avoid a bogey. This yardage, that section of the green has cost a few different players end of their rounds. She narrowly finds enough for that to fall, but it is a same finish to the back 9 as it was for the front 9. Could have been 3 under, instead it is also a 70 in round 1. ENG rolls in, it is even. Couple of birdies, couple of bogeys all in. Not much to make a ton of noise about today. It's a decent effort, but again, the danger of being a bit short, especially from those relatively short distances with the wedge. You know there's going to be backspin. And is it going to stay? Is it going to stay? Just. Last approach shot of the day, Isomi. Takes a good divot with her. And that is how you do it. Textbook. Well, the Dream Tour has officially reached its conclusion. More on that after, but first, enjoy the highlights of the final round of the season. "19 of 19 events through, and this is how it looks by the end. Kim So-yoon winning the final event of the season, a massive money prize, by the way. The KLPGA Q Capital Partners Dream Tour Grand Final 2022 at the Kuro Country Club. It was 10 under her score to win it all, a 70 in the final round, and that took her to first on the money list. Rounding out that top five, Chung Shiu, Che Gabin, Cho Hae-rim, and Son Ju-hee in that top five. Brilliant finale to the season. They're concluded. The Jump Tour has finished as well. The only other tour outside of this senior LPGA Tour of Korea is the Champions Tour, and their next and last event of the season will get going. Well, it has got going. Today's the first round. They are through 4 of their 5 events this season, playing at Bears Best in Cheongna. Well, the longest putt by quite some margin, Pak Jiyoung. It's 11.1 meters up the hill, and it's going to fade to our right. The weight was nearly spot on.
끝에서는 조금 약해지는 느낌.
The last attempt of the day for a birdie for Pungmin Ji. Just left herself with a little bit too much to do. There's a reason why we haven't seen a ton of birdies here, especially with this pin placement today. Finish with a bird. A little left to right as it comes down.
Oh.
Too much snap to it. That's 4 consecutive pars to end the day. She went out with the 35, 2 under. She was 1 over on the way out. Third time's the charm, I promise. It's late in the round. 1 under on the way out, 1 over on the way in. Even par round. Peng Min-ji just has this short par. And she is unable to capitalize. That is an unfortunate miss. The putter goes cold at the worst possible time. So from a tie for third to a tie for 6th position. All in, good day at the office for her. That was her first and only bogey of the round. Birdies at 6, 9, 12, 14, and 16. There are 18 players tied at 37. Park Ji-young finishes as one of them. Her day, bogeys 4 and 11, birdies 5, 6, and 17, 1 under through 18 of the 72 holes of this S-Oil Championship. And before we say goodbye, a look back at the highlights from this opening round. We'll begin on the 6th. Cho Hwa-yeon, it is a 70-meter look at eagle. Great ball flight, hops up and zips right back on line, closer and closer, and a slam dunk for that eagle after all. Couldn't believe it. That would take her to 3 under at that point. Birdies 2 and 3, and then that bit of magic. This was on 5. Im Ji-ni, the par 4. Significant uphill putt, a little bit left to right. Just enough speed to get all the way there. Her 3rd birdie through the first 5 holes of her round. More from Cho Hwa-yeon, this time at the par 3 7th. She went with the 9-iron. She came that close to what would technically be another eagle. Hole in one makes it all the more special, but it leaves her with just a short tap in. So she follows up the eagle with a birdie. She was absolutely flying to start the day. Im Ji-ni, a bit of wedge play for her. Backspin absolutely key, and why not an eagle of her own? 5 under through 6 at that point. That's where she would finish the day, but it wouldn't be a straight linear path all the way in. Jae Reem, this was at 9, a long left to right putt, tiptoeing and just having enough to get all the way there. She would go out with a 33, 3 under. More at 5, only 1 under. Early in the round, Imi Jung wind at her back, and also the perfect read, the perfect execution. It's around this part of the day where we started to see Peng Min-ji find her game. Got caught with a little bit of the grass blowing back, the wind in her face. Good thing she has those rose-colored glasses on. Simplest and shortest of tap-in birdies as we go to 14 next, 101 meters for Im Ji-ni. You could hear the supporters willing for another eagle. Wouldn't quite be enough to go all the way back, but birdie is a pretty solid consolation prize. 16 next, and Peng Min-ji, as she was carrying along that up and down in terms of pars and birdies, that would take her all the way to 5 under. Of course, we just saw the bogey at the last, which is why you don't see her on the top page of the leaderboard. So here's how things sit through 18 holes. The leader by 2 strokes, a 64 in the first round. That is Chung Yeon-ju. Park Dan-yu, sole possession of second with a nice 66 today. Kim Hee-ji, Eugenia, Im Jini, they're all in at 5 under. There's Peng Min-ji along with Shea A-reem, their rounds of 68. Yoo Hyo-ju, Hong Ji-yeon, Kim Yoo-bin, Song Gaeun, Chi Han-sol, and Sun Ju, all at 3 under with 69s in the first round. And the rookie Moon Jung-min also at 3 under with Pak Bo-mi, Oh Ji-hyun, and Cho Ah-yeon. Not for a difficult back 9, we'd see her a little bit further up on the leaderboard. Kim Se-rami, Ie-1, No Sung-yi, Lee Soo-jin 3. Hong Yeon-so, Chung Soo-gi, Park Jae-yoon, and So Yeon-jung at 2 under, as are Jung Hee-yeon, Im Hee-jung, Hong Jung-min, Kim Yi-an. Then we have Park Young-kyung with a nice birdie at the end to finish her round, and there are plenty of players at 1 under. In fact, there are 18 of them tied for 37th, including Kim Ji-young-tu and Park Ji-young, who we followed very closely today, the defending champion of this event. That is curtains for round number 1. We still have 3 to go on Jeju, the gorgeous landscape stretching across the island, looking out to the sea, and Halasan, a fantastic bit of landscaping to keep us centered on this course as well. We'll be back tomorrow at the same time, our Friday coverage, round 2, as we prepare to whittle down the field, cut it in half, and prepare for the weekend. Event number 29 of the season, just 4 more remain. And we look forward to 3 more rounds here at the SOL Championship 2022. For our Spock and SBS Golf crews, I've been Adam Jenkins. We will see you tomorrow.